Hi, Helen. I have been having some deeper and clearer insights by the day. Moments of deeply questioning present experiences. And the other day saw the illusion of time in a way that is deeper than I have experienced before. None of this would have been possible without your clear and deep teachings, so thank you very much. One of the things that has been arising in my experience is this deep sense of lack. It permeates three key areas of my life, and I can see how it is an identification with the separate self. I can see that I believe I'll get security, excitement, and fulfillment by having a better job, having a spiritual partner, and having more money, because it seems to be lacking in my experience now. But I also know that this isn't the truth. Finding a new job I like seems impossible. Finding a partner I can see having a life with also seems impossible and actually feels with and actually feels fills me with fear a little. And getting more money seems difficult to achieve as well. Gosh, how depressing. I've spent some time contemplating on, is it true I don't get what I want, as well as focusing more on what I do want rather than what I don't. But it feels as though this is perpetuating the idea that there is anything I can get from external reality, where the truth is I have to let go of believing I am a separate person doomed to suffering and never getting what I want. I'm so exhausted with feeling like life sucks and caring about any of this nonsense. Ultimately, the mind cannot let go of this. And it's through the continuous knowing of who I am that I'll get the joy and relief I want. It just feels hard to remember that when my mind is succumbing to life sucking, and what is the point in trying in anything? I will remain to feel the same way. I guess my ultimate question is, how can I use this lack I am feeling in my experience to see the truth? Thank you again for everything.
And that's a very intelligent question. How can I use this that I'm going through right now to help me see clearer who I am? And what you described, your situation, pretty much paralleled my life. Lots of lack, and finally, like this question came up: how can this be used for me? How can this be used to further my seeing? And you said very correctly that living as your true self, or being the true self, would be the only thing that will be satisfactory for you. And when we have a challenge going on in our life like this, if we can see that our mind is showing us something that we still believe, that is in duality or separation, that no longer fits with what we have seen to be true, then we will be able to take what the mind is saying to us and use it in our inquiry. So here is a thought that pops up that is seeming very, very true to the mind, but really isn't your real self. And that is that I can need something or I can lack something. And it's a common human experience, right? If you ask all human beings in the local town that you live in, what do you need right now? They would probably give you a whole list. Things for the body that they need, things for the mind, things even for their spiritual growth. I need awakening even, here in satsang it seems. And this only stopped for me lack and limitation and not enoughness, needing, when I really began to see I could not be separate from the things I want or need. And I had to really question this. Can I need anything? And it seemed a little crazy, right, when my finances were in a complete mess and my relationships were in a complete mess, to be contemplating or inquiring, can I need something? When obviously my life was screaming at me, yes, obviously, look at the phenomenal experience. But it was only when I consistently questioned what could I possibly need or lack that it began to turn around. And of course, um, the situation in our life that prompted this question, it might not disappear straight away. but you'll begin to feel differently inside straight away. What could you possibly lack if you are everywhere and everything? And the formless essence, the silence, the stillness that you are, that everything is. If we check it out again together, let's look now and see what we really are. Can it be divided? Can it be split into me and money, or me and this person who I want to draw into my life? And paradoxically, when we find that the infinite self is not divisible at all, it's not like a whole load of beings that are all made of the same essence and it's been divided up like you would slice up a pie or something. It's just this one being appearing as all these different forms. And so the very idea of need has to be eliminated from our thought process. It's totally okay to say, I would like myself to show up more in financial as financial resources, or I'd like to meet myself as this person I would love to encounter. But whenever we're feeling this same feeling of need, there's a separation in there, right? This thing outside of me, apparently, that I need, or this person. And with a lot of us, it's money, really. We feel very separate to it, that we have to receive it, earn it, save it. These are all ways of holding ourselves in a place of separation. And that might have been okay many, many years ago when we thought we were a separate person, but now it's become too painful in our consciousness, and our mind's trying to fix this problem, but it doesn't know that the problem doesn't exist for you, the indivisible, infinite consciousness. So whatever the body seems to need is only another way that you are appearing. Everything is you. This body, everything, money, everything. And so really questioning, as crazy as it might sound, is it really true I could need anything? And not referencing your experience to answer that question, because your experience of lack, not enoughness, is reflecting this idea that you need. Instead, you can come to the understanding I am all the things that I could possibly need. And it's just a question of softening my vibration around that, not needing. The very essence of need points to the fact it's not already here. And that's not really true for you anymore, is it? Because you are everywhere and everything. But here we're still believing that something you want or need could be absent. And that's actually, if you think about it, a very denial of your own self. It's like saying you're not here. That's why it hurts so much. So just to summarize simply, really looking at this question, can you need or lack anything? If you did and could, it would have to be separate to you and different to you and outside of you. And by then, the very fact that there'd be something other than you to need, you would not be infinite. It would be definitely finite. It's an old way of thinking that really does seem real. And therefore we really, really experience it. But to transcend it, we really must come to question this. So, as much as your mind may tell you it's crazy to even ask this question, do it anyway and see what happens. Thanks, Anish.